So the easy steps that we want to do with this amendment is amend the Dodd-Frank Act to prevent agents from changing a percentage of sale. Since doing so is an act of price fixing, they can only charge a fixed fee per transaction. And then we want to eliminate the agent's ability to put a construction lien on a property since they don't add any value to construction. The next is set up a standardized depreciation schedule for real estate, which forces appraisals to go down the longer someone owns it. There will be a standard depreciation allowance for value-add transactions. So, and this is the case when an investor has value to the end user or he flips the areas, core multifamily syndications. The Real Estate Consumers Union will use the power to dictate the interest charged to them by the federal government. And interest rates should only be high when average home prices are low. That's really 4 easy steps to, changing inflation. The first step is to amend the Dodd-Frank Act. And what that does is it prevents agents from charging a percentage of sale. So doing so is an act of price fixing. And the new model would have to be they can only charge a fee. By changing the incentives that real estate agents get, we can actually benefit from inflation getting in a better position. So our rents are decreased, our mortgages are decreasing. It's a really necessary tool. It helps when it's time to buy a new house, more so than, just living in the same house. So if you want to move, you want to downsize, it actually makes it more possible to have a meaningful transition to a smaller location. It basically allows us to put real estate on sale. We want to get the best value for a dollar. And the only way to do that is to make it worth less the older that it is. That's how the homeowner gets the benefit from it. Those higher property taxes are based on what? The appraisal value. Not what you paid for it, not what it costs to build it, but what the market is forcing us to say that it's actually worth. So if we force depreciation, we're actually forcing our property taxes to go down. Actually banks in the background have always used a depreciation schedule so that if you default on a property, the more you use it, more likely it is for them to recover the amount that you've used in it. So all we have to do is match the depreciation schedule with banks. The second really difficult thing for a lot of people, especially builders, to stomach is when real estate agents can put construction lien on a property without doing anything construction related. They're not adding construction value to the home, so they shouldn't be able to put a construction lien against the property to try to get their real estate commission. So if we stop that from happening, it's going to be more fair transaction for the people who are buying. Set up a standardized depreciation schedule for real estate, and that forces appraisals to go down the longer someone owns it. So there will be an appreciation allowance only for value-add transactions. So if someone is rebuilding a neighborhood and they're adding value to someone's life or increasing their quality of life, then you should be able to profit from that type of transaction for sure. And in flip scenarios, and that's typically called a multifamily syndication. So yeah, the standardized depreciation schedule on real estate. The no percent movement actually helps in accomplishing this, because if we sit together as a union of consumers, we have political power to force the results that we want together. That's how the no percent movement is so important. Unfortunately, there's no other movement out there. That's what motivated me to write this book and cause some awareness on the streets. So we have to do something. There really is no other option right now. So yeah, it's been like this for 100 years or more. And it's really frustrating to people like me who sees the issues with rising, appreciating home values. And it makes it attainable for the first-time home buyers. So the last thing we want to do is to create a real estate consumer union, and that gives us power to dictate things that are really important, like the interest rates that are charged to us. by the federal government. So we can actually say, this is what we want to pay for interest rates and what's fair for us and our pocketbooks. And we can do that collectively as a real estate consumer union, which doesn't exist yet. That's why this is such a powerful movement, something we have to have. I'm actually really passionate about building for my customers. I love doing something beautiful and meaningful that someone can live in and appreciate for 30 years or more. So that's my drive, is to allow my customers to own a property and do so in a fair way. Real estate agents are a vital part of the entire industry. So this is not an idea to cancel real estate agents at all, but I do want them to charge what's fair for what they put into our transactions. And that's what I'm asking for real estate partners. Charge a fair transaction, charge a flat fee. That makes it fair for the consumer.